Another interesting story this week was the ACCC approving the Foxtel takeover of Austar, the regional pay TV. That took a while. There was a lot of consideration about it, a lot of argument and so on. We've got a couple of inserts here. We've got firstly Rod Sims from the ACCC and then followed by Foxtel boss Richard Freudenstein.
The undertaking that we've got today is one that does, in a sense, deal with the competition concerns we had from the merger.
We were always surprised that there was such a concern from the ACCC. Foxtel operates in the cities, Austar operates in the country. There was never any real overlap, so we didn't think there was any competition in the subscription television world. Clearly the ACCC was more concerned about the telecoms and the broadband world.
Well, they were more concerned about telecom. It clearly wasn't a competition between Foxtel and Austar, and they were worried about Telstra. But the question is, do they need to be worried about that?
Well, I mean, Telstra's monopoly is being replaced by another government-owned monopoly. So, you know, the monopoly in broadband is very quickly moving to this thing called the NBN. So, you know, there's no way that Foxtel can influence that outcome. And, you know, if you look at it on the other side of the TV side of things, the Foxtel business structure has no impact on the rollout of IPTV, which is essentially going to destroy the value of the Foxtel franchise. So I think the ACCC made the right decision and said this is a monopoly now, but it's not going to be a monopoly for much longer.
Yeah, and they're trying to obviously promote the whole IPTV as a second, you know, as a competitor to pay television, and that seemed to be what the whole thing was about. Yes, clearly those two pay television organisations weren't in competition. They didn't even cover the same markets, other than I think the Gold Coast. Yeah. But Rod Sims has actually been quite, I think, cleverly futuristic about trying to look at life in the NBN world, and of course where Telstra fits into that is always high on his mind.
Yeah, one of the interesting things about this 11 months that they've taken to come to any sort of conclusion about whether this merger should go ahead is that the ACCC starting point was that pay TV doesn't compete with free-to-air, which is obviously a nonsense. If one looks at what the remedies they've put in place, these undertakings, to say, well, are they going to be effective in promoting new competition from IPTV operators? All they are is, for a period of 8 years, Foxtel can't have exclusivity over certain types of programming, videos, some of its news channels and so on. And it can't have exclusivity in terms of the mobile rights to some of this programming. What they've got exclusivity to is sports. Yeah. And we all know that any type of subscription-based video product, sport's the driver. It's not movies, it's not news channels, it's not Discovery Channel, it's not the entertainment channels, it's sport.
So that then raises the question, I mean, will sport protect them from IPTV? No. Because you're saying it won't. You're saying it's going to destroy Foxtel's franchise.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I can very confidently predict the value of Foxtel today will halve over the next 4 to 5 years because of IPTV, because a whole bunch of people take Foxtel because it's the only way of getting a variety of program. Once IPTV is rolling out, you're going to have 50 icons on your television screen with all the different programming options, and you'll be able to buy individual programs from all around the world. So why would you take out a Foxtel subscription? You know, it's as old and outdated a business model as the buggy whip.
Well. That's